Hello viewers, a very good evening and welcome to Africa in Beyond Television Network. Interesting stories at this point in time which we need to take a look. Mudenda Mnangagwa and the newspapers, they are clashing over the issues of ministers who are absconding from parliament, and we need facts right here. So what we are going to do is we are going to take a look on the report which was reported by the newspaper newzimbabwe.com. Then we take a look on the memo which was then written by the Speaker of Parliament, Mudenda, instructing this newspaper, newzimbabwe.com, to retract that article. So this is what the newspaper said. The headline is, Ministers face disciplinary action from Mnangagwa for snubbing Parliament. This is the headline right here. And they say, Speaker of Parliament has reviewed a list of cabinet ministers who evade parliament business without giving any explanation to President Mnangagwa. I think this is the key statement right here. And he says, during Wednesday question and answer session, Mudenda said ministers who continue to miss their house business would soon face unspecified action from the president. So this is what the newspaper is saying. And let us go to what Mudenda said in response to the newspapers. It's something very important to note because zvirikuburana and azvinakumira zvakanaka. These guys, they do not want accountability, and they are actually trying by all means to go against everybody who challenges them or who reports what is happening. So let me bring the report of the minister right here onto the screen as well, so that we get to understand kuti zviri kumbofamba sei. So you know, when you have a government which has accountability, this is what happens. They rule through threats, and they thrive through threats. So this is it. Let us go to this one right here. This is the statement from the Parliament of Zimbabwe. And this statement is about clarification of misleading article by newzimbabwe.com on ministers absconding parliament. And the Parliament of Zimbabwe takes great exception to a grossly misleading online article published by newzimbabwe.com on the 21st June 2024, headlined, Ministers Face Disciplinary Action for Snubbing Parliament. The article lists several ministers who were ostensibly cited by the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Advocate JFN Mudenda, as having been part of habitual absconders of Parliament question and answer sessions. Nothing can be further from the truth. It is a standard practice that at the beginning of question time, the Speaker of Parliament announces the names of the ministers and deputy ministers who have tendered their apologies to Parliament in line with the provisions of the Standing Order 67-1 of the National Assembly. But let us go and see kuti ndo zviri kutaurwa here nehansard, because all the sources are there. We also have the hansard, so we need to go to the hansard and see if the hansard is saying the same, because for us to deal with this matter, the hansard is very important at this point in time. Let us go to the hansard, the Parliament hansard of 19 June 2024. Let's go to the hansard. It's here, the hansard of 19 June 2024, and this is the session. So this is the announcement by the Speaker. Let us go down there and see. Right. So these are the apologies received. Right. Let us start from what Honorable Mtseyami said. This is the statement from Honorable Mtseyami which brought this. He said, all the same, Honorable Speaker, before you even favor us with the apologies, there is need to take note that if you look at the bench, most of the ministers are not here. It is now more like a cast in stone. This is the issue raised by Honorable Mtseyami right here. So what we need to ascertain is whether this news house should retract or not, and then we'll take a look on why the Speaker issued this order. So the Speaker then said they are opening a debate now. That is no longer a point of order. You have requested me to read the apologies, so I am complying. And he then read the apologies of the ministers. This is the list of ministers which is right here, highlighted here. Okay. This is the list of ministers absconding parliament. These are ministers and deputy ministers. And sometimes we do not know the reason why deputy ministers will be absconding, because they don't sit in cabinet. Then here is the statement from the speaker, which is very important, which is bringing us here. He says, I want to assure you, Honorable Msiami, that the house that I have written, I want to assure you, Honorable Msiami, and the house, that I have written to His Excellency, the President, indicating the rosters of honorable ministers who appear to be constantly absent in the House, contrary to Section 107(2) of the Constitution. I want to believe that His Excellency the President will take the necessary action accordingly. This is what he says. So, if you take a look on newszimbabwe.com, newszimbabwe.com says action shall be taken. So, in my own view, I do not know who is telling the truth right here, because yes, these statements, they diverge a little bit, but what each statement says is the truth. If you go to the answer, what the answer say is that the Speaker of Parliament wrote to the President indicating the ministers who must face punishment according to Section 107(2) of the Constitution, because they are absconding Parliament. And he then said that he believes the president will take necessary action accordingly. And then the newspaper says that President Mnangagwa will take action towards the ministers who are absconding Parliament. Personally, you can actually see that in journalism, that is not something which can be far from the truth. It can't be far from the truth in journalism, and you cannot say the speaker was misquoted, because there is a reference of where this was said, which means we can easily trace back kuzowa reference iri kubva kupi. I went to the newspaper, I went to what the speaker said, and I went to the Hansard, and this is the Hansard which we are reading at this point in time. Which means, in my own view, this is just a matter of Emmerson Mnangagwa pressurizing the Speaker of Parliament to reverse this issue, or to deal with this newspaper such that they are not exposed. Imagine, guys, that these are people who are supposed to be attending a question and answer session. This is a well-known question and answer session. All these ministers are not available. They are deputy minister. They are not available to answer in Parliament. Why? What are they doing? Because a question and answer session is known. This is a question and answer session, which is known from day one. And these people are absent. This is the reason why we are saying that this government does not take us serious. And this government is playing with us. How do you improve an economy when we have ministers who run away from accountability like this? And you have a president who is supporting and defending these ministers who are running away from accountability, yet they are at fault. And you blast my newspapers and threaten newspapers with unspecified action simply because they exposed you. And you do not do the same to the ministers in question. Why is it that the speaker gave this assurance to Honorable Msiami? What is going to happen now that these ministers continue to abscond from Parliament? What are we going to have? Because this is an assurance which was given to Honorable Msiami in the House, that they wrote to President Mnangagwa indicating the ministers who are constantly absent. And they also believe that the president will need to take action because he is required to do so. So personally, I do not see that there is need for newszimbabwe.com to retract. We will see if they are going to retract and issue an apology. But as for me, I will never issue an apology for that. I will never retract for that, because this remains the truth. This government is playing games, and Mnangagwa cannot settle his own scores with Mudenda by threatening other people. It is what it is. We'll continue to watch and see what is going to happen.